What if I told you that the Bible contains one of the most mysterious and terrifying stories ever told? A story so strange, so ancient, that most churches never even mention it. A story of giants, born not from evolution or mutation, but from the union of angels and humans. They were called the Nephilim. Who were they? Why did they exist? And what dark secrets do their stories hold? Let's go back to the beginning. Genesis chapter 6, just before the great flood. The world was growing wicked, but not just because of human sin. Something else had entered the world, something otherworldly. Genesis 6, verses 1 through 4, when human beings began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. Then the Lord said, "My spirit will not contend with humans forever, for they are mortal. Their days will be 120 years. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God went to the daughters of humans and had children by them. They were the heroes of old, men of renown. Sons of God, in Hebrew, Bene Elohim, a term used elsewhere to refer to angelic beings. This isn't a metaphor. According to ancient Jewish tradition and many early Christian writings, this verse describes a moment in history when angels, fallen from grace, abandoned their place in heaven and took human wives. The offspring from these unnatural unions were not ordinary. They were giants, beings of immense size and power. They were called Nephilim, a word that means fallen ones or those who cause others to fall. They weren't just physically large, they were spiritually corrupted, a perversion of God's creation. Now picture this, a world ruled by these giants, towering over men, consuming the earth, spreading violence and fear. Ancient texts outside of the Bible, like the Book of Enoch, paint a disturbing picture of these beings. Enoch says the giants were hundreds of feet tall, ravenous and unstoppable. The Book of Enoch, though not part of the biblical canon, was highly respected by early Jews and Christians. It claims these giants taught mankind forbidden knowledge, sorcery, astrology, warfare, the making of weapons. And God saw that the earth was filled with wickedness, that every imagination of man's heart was evil continuously. So God acted. The flood, not just to destroy wicked men, but to wipe out the Nephilim, the unnatural offspring of angels and humans. It was a cleansing of the earth. But here's the chilling part. Genesis 6:4 says, "The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward." Wait. Afterward? How is that possible? If the flood wiped them out, how did they return? This mystery opens the door to even more questions. Fast forward to the book of Numbers, chapter 13. Moses sends 12 spies into the land of Canaan. They come back terrified. They say, "We saw the Nephilim there. The descendants of Anak come from the Nephilim. We seemed like grasshoppers in our own eyes, and we looked the same to them." Giants, in the land, after the flood. And then we meet Goliath, the champion of the Philistines, over 9 feet tall, a descendant of the giants. The Bible even names his brothers, and they too are described as fearsome warriors of immense size. 2 Samuel 21 mentions 4 of these giants, all from Gath. David and his men killed them one by one. So who were these post-flood giants? Were they genetic remnants? Were the fallen angels at it again? Or had some bloodlines simply survived? Some believe that Ham's descendants carried the corrupted DNA through Noah's son and that it re-emerged in later generations. Others believe the fallen angels returned to repeat their rebellion. We don't know for sure. But the giants were real and their threat was terrifying. And it doesn't stop there. In the New Testament, the book of Jude gives us a haunting reminder. Verse 6 says, "And the angels who did not keep their positions of authority, but abandoned their proper dwelling, these he has kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains for judgment on the great day." These fallen angels, the watchers, are locked away, waiting for judgment. But what if they return? What if their influence never left? All around the world, ancient civilizations speak of sky beings, gods descending from the heavens, giants who ruled the earth. From the Sumerians to the Mayans to the Greeks, these stories echo the same strange theme. And in our modern age, we uncover bones and skulls of unusual proportions, though quickly dismissed or hidden away. Could these be traces of the Nephilim? Some believe that secret societies and ancient bloodlines still carry this corrupted lineage, that even now, in the shadows of power, something darker is at work. The Bible says in Matthew 24:37, "As it was in the days of Noah, so it will be at the coming of the Son of Man." What was happening in the days of Noah? The Nephilim walked the earth. Could they return before the end? Could the final battle between good and evil be more supernatural than we imagine? This story isn't just about giants. It's about rebellion, corruption, judgment, and restoration. It's a warning. When the boundaries between heaven and earth are broken, when we play with forbidden things, there are consequences. So what do we take from this? We may never know every detail about the Nephilim, but their story teaches us that God is holy, that some mysteries are deeper than we realize, and that one day everything hidden will be revealed. What do you believe? Were the Nephilim real? Are they part of history or prophecy? Have we truly seen the last of them? Let us know in the comments, and if you're hungry for more deep biblical mysteries, subscribe and stay tuned. Because the ancient world is not as far away as it seems. Until next time, stay watchful, stay grounded, and never stop seeking the truth.